Hello, annyeonghaseyo, hola. Thank you. I truly appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to visit with me. This is my new channel, Love Sarang, and for those of you that don't know, Sarang is love in Korean, and I love all things Korean. Through the good, through the bad, and the ugly, it drew me back on 3 separate occasions for 14 months, and with God's favor, I will be returning in January. The purpose of my channel is to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and also to introduce you to the Korean culture if you don't know anything about Korea, or to assist you if you already know some of about Korea and know something about Korea, something like that. So anyway, I started my first. I did my first video 2 weeks ago. It's a 45-minute video where I talked about the ugly. The ugly for me was so ugly that it took me 8 weeks to quote unquote get over it. In the interim, I was wondering, did I make a mistake? Perhaps I shouldn't have come. Are you sure you want to stay here for 3 months? But I persevered and I endured the culture shock, the trauma, and I ended up loving it. So anyway, in my first video, I talked about the ugly, but I didn't realize that the last 10 minutes actually froze. There was a glitch. And it has to do with codecs, and for the last, 4 days or last week or so, I have been trying to fix it, and there's just no way. I've used Photoshop and Viva Video. I cannot go around it. There's just no way to fix the original video. I mean, I could post the original video, but then you wouldn't be able to see, the corrections that I made. And then I've tried to redo it, but the last 10 minutes keep freezing up, or the audio video is off. It's so weird. I can't explain it. So I decided, you know what, Dolores, I'm never going to do 45-minute videos again. I'll try to endeavor to do 15-minute videos, and that way it'll be easier for the viewer and for me as well, but I'm really thinking more about the viewer. 45 minutes might seem a little overwhelming, but anyway, so in this video, I am going to repeat some of what I did in the first video. I don't want to delete that first one, so I still want to keep it there. So this one, I'm calling it the ugly intro to the subway and a little bit about the bus. So that's what I'm going to discuss in this one, and I am going to endeavor to stick to my goal. Sometimes I can get a little sidetracked, and that's just kind of my personality. So anyway, here we go. So the ugly, that took me 8 weeks to get over. I think that for most people, it would be truly a task. Of course, we're all different. God made us all different. So there might be some people that are, who cares kind of thing, but no, it wasn't like that for me. It was extremely, really, really, it was very, very straining on me, mentally and emotionally. And I did question whether or not I should even stay, or questioned why I even went. So the subway, let's talk about the subway. When you are on the subway, you will get hit, pushed, and shoved. It just happens. Depending on where you're going, sometimes the subway could be pretty empty. It also depends on the time, of course, the time of the day. But in some areas, you are packed like sardines. You're very tightly confined. But on the subway, people will hit you, push you, shove you. They will not say thank you. They will definitely not say thank you. They will not say excuse me. They will not say I'm sorry. They will not say move it. They will not say get out of my way. Can't you see I'm coming? They won't say anything. So, yeah, you're gonna get hit, pushed, and shoved. And sometimes you have a lot of room where there's no reason for anyone to come into your space. But somehow they manage to do it. It just doesn't make any sense. So my friends, they would always laugh at me when I would say, oh, excuse me, oh, I'm sorry, thank you, 죄송합니다, 미안해요, 감사합니다. They would say, hey, Dolores, you don't have to do that, you're in Korea. And I would tell them, hey, I'm American, this is what we do. Hey, this is who I am, and they would repeat themselves, and I would do the same. It's just who we are as a people. And so people on the bus, on the subway, they would sometimes, I think, be taken aback because they would just stare. Like, why is this woman saying I'm sorry? Why is this woman saying excuse me? Like, there's no need. I don't understand. Like I said, my friends would make fun of me, so surely others would as well. So yeah, that took me a really long time to get over. A really, really long time. One time it was really, really, like, I hated what happened. There was this girl, and I don't remember how I saw her coming towards me. I don't know if I was facing her, if it was a peripheral. I don't really remember, but she came charging at me. She wanted to play tackle football. And you know what? I used to be a tomboy, and I used to love playing tackle football with the boys. And I was even called TD Gomez for Touchdown Gomez because I was so good at playing football. But no, I was not going to let her take me down. So the Californian in me came out, and I didn't care who heard it. I didn't care who saw it. I was going to be me. At that moment, I'm not going to be taken down. So I screamed out and I said, I turned my body. I said, what are you doing? I went like that, and I had to turn my body in order for her not to tackle me and for both of us to be taken down. I was just not going to accept it. And she just stared. Everybody just stared. But I didn't care. I really didn't care what they thought about me because I needed to take care of me, at that particular moment. This girl was just very rude, and I don't even know what her problem was. And she and a couple of girls that were around her, when they exited the bus, they just stared at me in shock. And I'm sure they were in shock because I screamed out. I screamed out and I didn't care. So yeah, just be prepared. That's gonna happen. But it's gonna be worse in some areas than others because it does depend on where you're traveling from and where you're traveling to. So the subway is not fun. And I just thought about something, and then it just vanished. So yeah, the subway is another thing that happens. This is not what I was gonna say. There was something else, but I can't remember. But anyway, another thing that I don't like and that I noticed, on the subway and on the bus, is that when people cough, they don't cover their mouth. Whenever I'm going to cough, I cough onto my inner arm, And so, I don't know, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a doctor, but I'm assuming that the contagion factor is decreased when you cough into your arm. Yeah, no, in Korea, they just cough. They cough around you, they cough in front of you, they don't cover their mouth, they don't do anything. I really didn't like that either. So maybe that's not something that, quote unquote, I hated, but it was definitely bad. And so one of the things I was going to say is sometimes you are so tightly confined that you're packed like sardines on the subway. And I remember one time I was so I seen this girl, and she was facing towards the, like towards the the wall. Let's say the wall. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. So she was facing that way. So I came in, and okay, we're getting really tightly confined. So I had to press my body against her body, and I'm sure she didn't know if it was a woman or a man breathing on the back of her neck, and I was literally breathing on the back of her neck. And then I ended up getting a body to my right, a body to my left, and a body behind me. Yeah, we were really, 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 really tight. I didn't want to know. Are you a man? Are you a woman? I did not want to know. Yeah, it can get pretty bad. And another thing that I learned on the subway is that sometimes if you're towards the doors and you're standing near the doors, even if you're a little confined, there are times that you can kind of, like sway your body to the side, and then people can kind of maneuver around you. But there are times when you're so tightly standing together that when the doors open, it's just easier for you to exit and then come back onto the subway. So yeah, the subway is an experience for sure. And on the bus, there were times where, yeah, you're really tightly confined, depending on the time of day, of course, and where you're going. But overall, there wasn't a lot of issues that I had on the bus, except one time the bus driver, he was a jerk. I don't know if it's because I was a foreigner. There were 2 instances of racism that I will discuss at a later time. Here in America, I have never, ever dealt with racism. I have never seen it. I have never experienced it, and in Korea I did. So this bus driver, either he was a jerk because I was a foreigner, or he was a jerk because he's just a jerk to everyone, regardless of who they are. So I had gone grocery shopping, and I had a lot of bags. Well, shopping in general, because I did go grocery shopping, but I also went shopping for other items. And I had a few bags. I don't recall, maybe like 3 bags, really big bags. And so all the seats were taken, so sometimes you have to go standing in the aisleway. And sometimes you're so tightly confined in the bus that there are people standing next to the bus driver and on the couple of steps that lead, from the entrance on the. Now, once in a while, people do exit through there, but most of the time it's just the entrance. And sometimes there are people standing there on the steps, and almost like they're like this, on the window. It's pretty dangerous, because I've done that, where I'm like, oh my goodness, there's an accident, you're gonna like go through the window. But anyway, I was standing a little too, probably like a little behind the bus driver's back shoulder area. So I arrived at my bus stop. So I asked him if he could open the front doors, because some bus drivers do open them. When you're tightly confined, they'll open the front doors so that people can exit through the front door versus exiting through the back, the middle area, because it's not really in the back of the bus, but in the middle of the bus. And so I asked him, and he said no. He said no. He was not going to open it for me. And there's probably just a couple of people like in front of me. It would have been like 5 seconds for me to get out. He said no. And I asked him why. Well, I didn't understand. He said no. So I had to, grab onto my bags, which was really difficult because I had a lot of stuff. And he knew that. He had seen me when I walked on, and yeah, I had to maneuver around people, and people had to move, and I had to squeeze in, and I had to drag my bags, and I had to move, and yeah, in order to exit to the back. So yeah, instead of it being a 5-second exit, it ended up being, I don't know, 40-second exit, I don't know, but yeah, he was a jerk. And the bus drivers, I'll go onto the bus, and I'll say 안녕하세요, hello, and some of them don't greet you Some of them are just kind of like, whatever. That doesn't bother me. You know, that's fine. That's their personality. But, so I don't see that as being a jerk. I see it being, you know, that guy was a jerk just because he did not want me to exit through the front door. He wanted me to exit through the back door. And some of the bus drivers, though, they smile, you know, like they're kind of taken aback that you're actually greeting them. So they do smile, and some of them, once in a while, they do greet you audibly as well. So, okay, I'm at 15 minutes. I think I'm gonna cut it, and the reason that I'm doing, I just don't want to overwhelm viewers, you know. So I will create another video right now, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna discuss, but. I'm making it short, and I just want to, and I think I said it in the beginning, but I just want to thank you for taking time out of your busy day to visit with me. I truly appreciate it, and if you would like and subscribe, I would truly, truly be grateful, and I pray that you have a gloriously blessed day, and for people out here in the States, I pray that you have a wonderful, memorable, beautiful Thanksgiving with your family. I'm looking forward to it. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. And yeah, so anyway, thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. God bless you. Goodbye. Annyeong. Adios.